Alrighty, getting set up here. We are ready to go. All right, everybody, welcome to the healing room. My name is Marcia Williams. I'm a licensed therapist. Good to see you all. Come on in and join me tonight in the healing room. We have an awesome topic tonight that I want to share with you. Just making sure I am live on all my channels. I'm so thankful. If you're joining me tonight, I am here because of you. So thank you for being here. I'm looking forward to sharing this topic with you tonight. The topic is, before I share the topic with you, let me ask you a question. If you have experienced a narcissistic relationship, as did I for 30 years, married to a narcissist, one of the common things that we experience is a foggy brain fog, foggy memory. We have a hard time remembering things. That is something that I hear a lot from my clients that I coach and that I do therapy with. I'm a licensed therapist as well as a narcissistic abuse recovery coach. And this topic is near and dear to my heart. Actually, I say that a lot. It's because all of them are, honestly, if I'm honest. This one is very special to me because it explains so much. It explains so much of why I just gave up on remembering things. I just gave up on trying to. I remember saying, my brain is off. I remember saying, my brain is off. Because oftentimes in my marriage, I would hear things like, I just told you that. No, I'm not telling you again. He would say, I'm not telling you again. I already said it and I'm not saying it again. So that left me with racking my brain trying to remember, okay, what did he say? What did he say? What was I supposed to remember? What was I supposed to remember? And I just felt safer accepting the fact that, you know what? I have a really bad memory. And that just gave me the out of being held responsible for not remembering something. And it sounded like an excuse, it felt like an excuse, but honestly it was truly my experience, and I didn't know what to make of it. So I am talking to you tonight about this topic of, why are we so forgetful? Why do we have trouble focusing? Why do we have brain fog? I said brain frog. Brain fog. Feels like a frog in my brain. Why do we have brain fog, forgetfulness, trouble focusing? Is it ADHD? Have you ever wondered if you have an ADHD brain? That's the topic tonight. If you've ever wondered if you have an ADHD brain. And some of you may say, I do have ADHD and it's worse. Some of you may say, I've always wondered because sometimes I feel ADHD or ADD. Of course, let me just say, I'm going to assume everybody knows what that means, but then again, I don't want to assume. ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and ADD, attention deficit disorder. We're going to talk tonight about how much of a connection there is between narcissistic abuse and ADHD or ADD. So, first and foremost, I want you to know I'm doing this topic because I want you to know that you're not alone. You're absolutely not alone if this has been your feeling, if you've questioned why you can't remember things. So, first of all, I want to normalize the experience. I often hear my clients report that they lose focus easily. or that they forget small tasks. I had to-do lists up and down, back and forth. My journal was a journal of to-do lists. That's how much I needed a constant reminder of things that I was responsible for. When it came to having a career and managing the home and the kids, and then being held responsible for things that my spouse would tell me, I need to be here for this. Here's just came to my mind. One thing I could never remember. So we were a basketball family. And so therefore, three boys, three teams, and so we were always at a gym. We were always at practice. We were always at games. And this is not just one school, it's AAU. So if anybody is familiar with AAU, then you know that you travel. It's a traveling basketball team. We attended games and practices at every school in the county. And so when he would say, okay, practice is at such and such high school, we need to be there at 6, I would immediately pull up my GPS, and he would say, we were just there last week. Why do you need to look it up? How do you not remember where you just were last week? I would say, I have no idea. And it would truly feel like I'm going to this place for the first time. There was no room in my brain to remember locations of 10 different schools for 3 kids who are back and forth to practice and games. I had no desire to try to hold space in my brain for that. But it was just the oddest thing to him, and honestly to me, that I could not remember where I just was last week. And as far as I'm concerned, all of these different locations just ran together in my head. So that's one of many of my experiences. And I became so forgetful that the running joke in my marriage was I had birds flying around in my head. And I kid you not, that was just the joke. There go the birds again. If I couldn't remember something, that's what he would say. There go the birds again. Hey, if that's how you want to label it, then fine. They're birds. I just accepted it because there's no way I'm going to remember all of this. And looking back, it's because I'm trying to remember a ton of other things that were of priority in my mind for the kids and appointments and school this and my own work. And there were some things that just were not going to stick, but that was a problem. It wasn't just at home. It was anywhere. Even my family knows, my kids know that my memory is not good. So losing focus easily, forgetting small tasks, even forgetting conversations. And I gave that example earlier of if he said something and I didn't remember that he had said it, I would say, can you say that again? No, I'm not saying it again. You should have heard me the first time. So, just somewhat penalized for not remembering. And I just always felt like my brain was just all over the place, all over the place. And then, that was criticized in many ways. So I would really rack my brain because I felt crazy. I felt forgetful. I felt, and it made it look like I didn't care because I didn't remember. So let's talk about this. What we're talking about tonight is the trauma brain, which is what happens as a result of narcissistic abuse, and ADHD. That is the topic tonight. Let's talk about the trauma response. Chronic stress hormones. Chronic stress hormones cause memory, focus, and executive functioning to be hijacked. It is a physical, chemical reaction in our brain to stress. Hypervigilance. I was so hypervigilant because I was afraid to forget or not remember something that I was expected to remember. So hypervigilance is when your brain is scanning for danger instead of focusing on a task. Now, when I say danger, let's talk about that for a minute. Scanning for danger. Danger is in the consequence of forgetting something. Danger is in the consequence of their reaction to us not doing something that we were expected or presumed to be doing. That's danger. So I just want to clarify that. So ADHD, the overlap with narcissistic abuse is impulsivity, distractibility, disorganization. They all look similar to ADHD. Here's the key difference. ADHD is lifelong and it usually is presented in childhood. So if you have been diagnosed with ADHD, you were likely diagnosed as a child. There are some adults, absolutely, who are diagnosed in adulthood, but it's most commonly presented, recognized, and diagnosed in childhood. Trauma-related symptoms often appear or intensify after some form of trauma or abuse. And in my case, I'm referring to narcissistic abuse. Here is the self-blame loop. The self-blame loop. Survivors internalize the abuser's narrative that you're the problem. See, if you would just remember, then we wouldn't have this problem. That's what we hear. So it's my fault. And I accept that. It's my brain. It's my memory. I'm the one who's forgetful. Very easy for me to say, you're right. It's my fault. So we end up taking on the problem because we are so easily and immediately identified as the problem by the narcissist and by ourselves. Remember, I don't profess to blame everything on the narcissist. I do not. Y'all know I talk about the 50-50 rule all the time. What's our part? Here's the shame cycle. So we're talking about the self-blame loop. We first say it must be me. I must be the problem. The shame cycle is I can't do anything right. Something's wrong with me. I just can't get it right. I'm just never good enough. We feel shame. I felt shame. I wanted to be the best wife I could possibly be. And if my husband is not pleased, then I'm not pleased with myself. Yes, I was a people pleaser. I wanted his approval. I wanted his recognition as a good wife. He's my husband. Now, technically, there's nothing wrong with that. You want your partner to acknowledge that you are appreciated and respected. But unfortunately, a narcissist tends to weaponize our shortcomings, our faults, our mistakes against us to the point that we are seen as the problem. And then we will shame and blame ourselves. So, reality check. These are normal nervous system responses. They are not personal failures. It is a normal response for your nervous system to react in the only way it knows how. Particularly for us, our personality type as an empath or empathic person, we will look at ourselves because we want to fix it. We want to fix it. We want to keep the peace. We want everything to be okay. We want our spouse, significant other, parent to be happy. We want our children to be happy. So our natural, normal nervous system response is to take accountability. It's in our makeup. And unfortunately, at the same time, as much as that is a gift, unfortunately, it is also what is used against us. It's weaponized and used against us. So listen, your brain is trying to protect you, not betray you. So when we wonder what is happening, why can't I remember? Our brain, our nervous system is trying to protect us. Trauma symptoms stop when healing begins. That is the hope that I want everybody to hear and to grasp. Grasp the hope in knowing that as soon as you begin healing, your brain begins to heal. That is exciting. I hope you can get excited about that. And I always say this as well. Healing starts before you leave. If you're still in the relationship, you start healing now. You don't wait for the strength, you just do it because you have control over your healing. So, with therapy, coaching, emotional regulation techniques, you're not just healing your heart and protecting your peace, you're healing your brain. That's how powerful healing is. And that's why I am dedicated, my life, I'm dedicated to helping others heal because that's how powerful not only is trauma and narcissistic abuse, but that's how powerful healing is, the act of healing. So, ADHD and trauma, they can coexist. If you have been questioning your foggy brain, if you've been questioning your forgetfulness, if you've been questioning how you can't keep track or you can't stay on task or stay focused on one thing. Another example that just came to mind for me, he would always want me to sit down and watch a movie with him. And I love watching movies, but he would tell you today I could never sit for more than 30 minutes at a time. My brain was like, oh, I need to do this. Oh, I forgot about this. Oh, what about this? Oh, let me go throw this in the oven. Oh, I could go throw some laundry in. Oh, I forgot. I need to do this for the kids. My brain was boom, 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 constantly to the point that I could not sit down and enjoy a movie. And he could sit for hours, hours. It was quite comfortable for him. Saturday morning, oh, forget it. From 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., he was comfortable. But my brain. So ADHD and trauma can coexist. So here are some practical tools that I want to give you. Grounding techniques are so important. We need to ground ourselves. We need to give our nervous system a break. That's what grounding techniques. So what are grounding techniques? The five senses. When you feel yourself triggered, when you feel overwhelmed, when you feel frustrated, when you feel like you can't keep your brain still, when you're ruminating, when your thoughts are just firing on all cylinders and you can't sleep, you can't sit still, or you can't focus on one task, grounding techniques. So the five senses is one of them. And all of these, what I love about this is that you can do it in your head. You don't have to do it out loud, or you don't have to find a quiet space and sit, on the floor, and do this. You literally can do it in your head. So five senses. And if anybody's familiar with any of these, shout out, throw up a heart, share with me what your grounding technique is, if that's something that you do. The five senses, five things you see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just saw five things in my head. Four things you touch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just touch four things. Or on your person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are things that are centering your focus, mindfulness, bringing it back into yourself, because the external distractions, our brain, boom, 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 grounding. So 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear. Okay, I hear a car driving by. Surprised I don't hear my dog barking. And I hear the AC unit. 2 things you can smell. I smell dinner waiting for me. I smell my candle. 1 thing you can taste. I taste like I'm thirsty. I wish I had my water. So 5 senses, that's an example of what you can do when you need to ground yourself. Another one is, and this is a good one too, breath work. If anybody's familiar with breath, thank you, Shannon, deep breathing. Thank you so much. Anybody else? I'm looking at the comments. Let me know what works for you. What grounding techniques work for you? So, breath work. Everybody take note. This is called the 4-7-8. I would love for you to do it with me right now. Practice it. The 4-7-8. You breathe in deeply for 4. You hold it. Hold your breath at the top for 7. You slowly release through pierced lips for 8 until your stomach is empty. And then you take a deep breath. That's the 4-7-8. And you don't have to do it so obviously. So if you can't get alone by yourself, I technically did it and didn't tell you I was doing it. Did you catch that? And you can be even more incognito than that. So listen, those are grounding techniques. Next, journaling. Let me say something about journaling. And I think I've said this before. In my marriage to a narcissist, journaling was never safe for me to truly be honest in my journaling. So I did journal a lot, but I journaled about all the things I didn't want to forget. I journaled about all the activities. I journaled about how great a particular day was. I journaled about things I looked forward to and things that were safe. So I know even some of my clients, we talk about this all the time. Journaling doesn't always feel safe. So, with that in mind, you can still find a way to journal, whether it's on your phone in the notes app and your phone is locked, whether it's a digital diary that has a passcode, things like that. But journaling, I cannot express to you enough. If you're a journaler, raise your hand, high five, or a heart if you're a journaler. If you journal, show some love. All my journalers out there, it is extremely important. I have my clients journal. That is one of their very frequent common homework assignments is to journal. It is oftentimes the only way to get out of our head. That's the purpose of journaling, is get out of your head. So much processing happens in our head. The goal is to get out of your head. Support groups. Please find a support group. Speaking of which, my women's support group is on this Sunday. Women's Hope. It is a support group for women who are still in a relationship with someone who has narcissistic tendencies or a narcissist, whichever you are most comfortable calling it. My support group for women is actually free this Sunday. I encourage you to come if you are interested in joining a group of women who are exactly where you are, still in the relationship, but working on your healing, working on protecting your peace. Please go to my website, which is thepassagetopeace.com, or you can email me for information at info@thepassagetopeace.com. So my women's group is a support group. I also have a 7-week program, which is a community support group, but it's still private for 7 weeks. It's called P2P Essentials. I have a free open house this Saturday at noon Eastern Time. If anyone is interested in hearing more about how you can join a group of people who are healing at all different stages of this healing journey, come check it out. You can find it on my website, thepassagetopeace.com, or email me for more information, info@thepassagetopeace. So support groups. I also have, this is how much support I'm trying to give y'all. Not just tonight, but every day. I'm here for you as a narcissistic abuse recovery coach and as a licensed therapist in the state of Georgia. My Peace Pockets is a 30-minute survival session. If you need a quick help me with what's happening in this very moment. I just need 30 minutes of your time. Help me get through this trigger. Help me get through the feeling of hopelessness, the feeling of not feeling good enough. 30-minute Peace Pocket. You can find that on my website, or you can go to email me, info@thepassagetopeace.com. So listen, if you've ever been blamed or blaming yourself for being scatterbrained, there's a word for it, forgetful, please hear me. You're not the problem. If you are diagnosed with ADHD and you already know you have ADHD, hear me when I say narcissistic abuse makes it worse. Narcissistic abuse, trauma, and ADHD can coexist. They can coexist. So that's something that I hope gives you peace in knowing that you are in control. You're not crazy. You're not the problem. You're in control. If you're an adult and you've not been diagnosed with ADHD, I'm not trying to tell you you have ADHD, but I am telling you, and I even wonder if I have it. My son told me, Mom, you might need to get checked out. And I think he's right. I am actually going to look into it for myself because for so long, I just thought I have a bad memory. I cannot sit still. Sometimes I can't sleep at night because my brain is constantly thinking of all the things I need to do and things I don't want to forget. So, of course, I keep a pen and pad on my nightstand. Of course, I have notes. I mean, I have sticky notes. If y'all could see my desk, I am sticky note. Y'all don't believe me? Sticky note queen. Okay, I'm not going to embarrass myself and keep showing you how many sticky notes I have, but that's how I compensate. And how often do we overcompensate? We have to overcompensate. So we need to give ourselves grace. Give yourself grace and compassion. Please know that there are coexisting things that are going on with us. And that's why there's 50% that's us. Thank you so much, Gretchen. I write my prayers as journaling. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. These are things that we can do. I said Gretchen again. I am so mad that I keep saying Gretchen, and I think it's because when I look at your tag, your name, it just, if I look at it really quick, it makes me say Gretchen, but it's Greta, and I love you, Greta. You know how much I love you, Greta. I hate that I say Gretchen. That makes me so mad. You know what? Sticky note. Greta, not Gretchen. Do you see why I need sticky notes? Oh my goodness. In my support group that I run every Thursday, I call Paul Charles, I call Charles Paul. They now let me say Charles, not Paul, and Paul, not Charles. This is happening to me today. This is happening to me today. Thank you, Greta. I love you so much. And so grace. We have to give each other grace. I have to give myself grace, just like I did just now in this moment on live streaming. But I'm glad. This is why I'm so glad for all of my experiences, y'all, because I am you. I'm just like you. I've been where you are, and I am where you are. No better than you. But guess what? I am enough. See the neck? Say it. I am enough. You are enough. You are enough. Oh my gosh, Greta, all my children, I call them my siblings' names. How many of us, if you have two or more children, go through each child to get to the right name for the right child? I just started calling all of them the same name. I call them love child number one, love child number two, and love child number three. Now, you might ask me, why am I calling them love children if they have a daddy who's in their life? That was just the name I came up with. And when they got old enough, they were like, Mom, love child means, I was like, I know but that's not, I redefined it to suit me. And speaking of which, we are redefining ourselves. Okay. So we're not the problem. We are scatterbrained for a reason, forgetful. I don't even like scatterbrained. That sounds like it has a negative connotation to it. We are who we are. Okay. And who we are is enough. But we are going to identify, what can I do to heal? What can I do to get better, to feel better, to be and become the best version of myself? I love that. Trauma stays with you even after you leave. That is very, very true. And we need to embrace it. And what I mean by that is we're no longer victims. We're no longer victims. That's the beauty of healing. Yes, I have trauma, but my trauma doesn't define me. Those 30 years doesn't define me. It actually elevated me, and it will for you too. So we're lifting each other up, y'all. We are lifting each other up. We are finding and protecting our peace. Greta said, I named all my sons the same name. I think I was so frustrated in the hospital because Greta has 6 children, y'all. She was so frustrated in the hospital with the narcissist drama. You just wanted peace. I mean, that's what we will do to get peace, is to name all our children the same name. My kids would fight over who's love child number one and who's love child number two. To me, it was just whoever walked in the room first. Oh my goodness. But you know what? We're going to get to the point where we can laugh about it. We're going to get to the point where we can laugh about it. So that's where we are. I'm going to stop here. Y'all know I can talk about all of these topics all day long. I hope to be able to support you. I hope you'll go to my website or email me if you want more information on the support groups and programs that I have. info@thepassagetopeace.com is my email. And every Monday night, I'm here for you. Tonight, we talked about ADHD and narcissistic abuse, how they coexist. And sometimes we feel ADHD, even though we may not be diagnosed. But I think I'm about to go get myself checked out. I need to know. I've been curious. I need to know. And this might be proof that I need to go check that out. So love yourself because you are enough. And the more we know about ourselves, the more we heal. So thank y'all so much. So happy to have y'all here tonight and hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.